Greetings on behalf of the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce and Happy New Year. We made it out of 2020 and into a new year and a new opportunity to make a difference. I'm so glad that you all have tuned in to celebrate together with us. My name is Niketa Greene, and I'm the Program Director for Leadership Greensboro. This year, the hugs that alumni usually share at this event are virtual, and the smiles are felt rather than seen. But still, we have many reasons to celebrate this year. We're starting the year by sharing the good news about Leadership Greensboro and also honoring exceptional leadership in our community. We honor our alumni tonight and the impact that you all make in your companies and our community. You are the reason that Leadership Greensboro is successful. The past year has shown us how critical great leadership really is, and we lift that up tonight too. You'll also get to hear about the 36 unique and special people who make up the LG 2021 class. Of course, we're here to bestow special honors on a few outstanding leaders who've served our community and impacted it greatly with your work. When you meet them, I bet you'll agree with our committee that they more than deserve to be recognized. Warren Buffett said, "Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago." And you're about to meet 4 people who have used their leadership and their service to bring that cool relief of a shady tree to the lives of the people that they touch. So we'll present 2 types of awards tonight. First, the Leadership Medal Awards, and then the Denise E. Maleska Leadership Impact Award. These awards recognize individuals who demonstrate leadership that positively affects the citizens and community of Greensboro broadly. The awards are framed around the tagline for Leadership Greensboro: Connect, Serve, and Impact. The recipients of both of these types of prestigious awards are selected by the Leadership Greensboro Award Selection Committee. So I want to thank you again for being here tonight to celebrate with us. Thank you to our 2021 program chairs, Jasmine, Kelly, Garet, and Marcus, and all of the program chairs from the past who've offered your leadership and time to our program. We thank our many program day and event sponsors who supported us over the past year and helped to make our program great. Leadership Greensboro is especially thankful tonight for our sponsor for this event, Cone Health. Cone has consistently supported our program and the value of good leadership in our community. Cone, we are definitely thinking about everyone on your team and the magnitude of the challenge that you face right now. Your sacrifice is difficult for many of us to imagine, but we are hopeful that all of us will show you our support by protecting ourselves and protecting those around us. So to Terry Aiken and the thousands of staff at Cone Health, we deeply appreciate your generosity and your part in our program's success. We'll actually hear from one of the outstanding leaders at Cone, who happens to also be a 2019 LG alum, Miss Kiva Elliott. After which we'll begin with our first award. So thank you again for your presence here tonight.
I'm Kiva Elliott with Cone Health, and I'm also a Leadership Greensboro alum. And I'm so thrilled that Cone Health is sponsoring the Leadership Greensboro Awards event. At Cone Health, we know the power of great leadership. We know what it means to acknowledge leaders, to help leaders grow and evolve. So sponsoring this event really brings us joy. And it's really a part of who we are at Cone Health. To the winners of the award tonight, congratulations. And also, I encourage you to keep letting your light shine brightly. Keep being curious, keep being courageous, and keep making a difference, because we need you and our communities need you as well. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. I am Jasmine Beard, Chief Strategy Consultant of Ajoy Consulting. I'm also a 2020 GOAT Leadership Greensboro graduate, as well as a 2021 Program Chair for Leadership Greensboro. The Leadership Greensboro Service Leadership Medal recognizes servant leaders who do the following. They demonstrate leadership through dedication and service to the community. They are often inspired by purpose beyond themselves. They promote awareness of pressing issues and challenges in our community. They often give of their time and talents to improve the quality of life of the people in their community, and they also show concern for the success of all stakeholders, which include, but are not limited to, employees, customers, business partners, communities, and those that are often less privileged. They demonstrate stewardship and commitment to civility, respect, and integrity, and they also advance community-driven, innovative, and sustainable solutions to the community's most pressing challenges. Last but not least, they often work behind the scenes in projects that advance the community or groups in need. Tonight, we have two 2021 recipients of this medal, Altina Layman of the Fellowship Hall and Dr. Zitobile or Zidi Umalo of Deftable LLC. Altina is the Director of Development for the Fellowship Hall and a 2020 alum of Leadership Greensboro. One of her colleagues shared the following about Altina. The volunteer work that she does contributes to highlights the various levels in which she generates social change and awareness within our community. Whether advocating for the arts as being critical to the foundation of our community, helping to ensure that housing needs are at the forefront of our minds, or that women are connecting with one another to better amplify their causes, she is a testament of what it looks like to dig in and get the work done. Her creativity and compassion collide in ways that spur on conversation, change, and momentum towards goals. Altina looks for actionable items and partnerships that will lead to minimizing or wiping away barriers wherever we can, or extending help outside of our organization. Dr. Zidi Umalo is a college professor and CEO of Deftable LLC. One of her colleagues said that Dr. Umalo is a transformative leader who is gifted in curating spaces in which others can positively transform as well. She has dedicated much of her academic and teaching career to connecting students to the community through meaningful research and service. Dr. Umalo is the founder of a nonprofit organization, We the People International, and also recently founded an all-women's Afrofusion dance company called Zodwa Dance Company. And the principles of the group emphasize physical and intellectual balance. Dr. Umalo has been involved, along with her dancers, in a social media musical campaign, People Over Politics, an educational musical project that features the Greensboro-based Black. Her civic engagement work has also had a measurable impact on voter engagement in the demographics of ages 18 to 35. Her and other co-founders of We the People International secured a sponsorship from Black Voters Matter to co-host a series of events in Greensboro and Charlotte to share the nonpartisan voter information and to encourage voting among young Black adults. I'm pleased to introduce to you Altina Layman and Dr. Zidi Umalo, the 2021 recipients of the Leadership Greensboro Service Medal.
Wow, I saw an email in my inbox from Niketa Greene with the subject line, "Congratulations, Leadership Greensboro Award." And I immediately thought to myself, which classmate from the greatest of all time 2020 class of LG is doing great things for our city now? It never occurred to me that doing what I love to do would bring this incredible honor of being recognized with the 2021 Leadership Greensboro Service Medal. But I must tell you, it's the kindness of others that gives me the courage and ability to be of service. I give thanks to the wonderful leadership of Fellowship Hall and each organization that I've had the pleasure of working for, and to the nonprofits who believe in me enough to invite me to join their cause. A big thank you to Leadership Greensboro, whose decades of work to develop leaders who connect, make an impact, and serve has strengthened Greensboro. I owe the universe gratitude unending for being a mom. 24 years ago, on the way home from the hospital with a tiny baby girl, I remember thinking, what can I do to show this beautiful person that she can change the world for the better? It was then I realized I would have to show her the way through the choices and actions that she would see me make. If we want a world for our kids that's built on the solid foundations of love, respect, and compassion, then we have to get busy creating it. I just, feel like everybody can make a difference and make an impact in our community, whether we're talking about our neighborhood, our city, our state, our nation, or our world. But the first step is participation, getting involved in the things that we care about. I'm grateful to receive this distinguished award, and I invite each of us to take Desmond Tutu's wisdom to heart. Do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. Thank you for this honor.
It really, really is an honor to receive this service medal. I'm one of the lucky ones. I really consider myself to be one of those people who, the saying, to whom much is given, much is required. My family is originally from Southern Africa. And in the mid-'80s, we came to Greensboro and didn't have much at the time. And my life is literally evidence of having gotten support from different people who didn't have to, but saw something in me and chose to reach out and to offer support. And so I just believe that it's natural and necessary for me to really take advantage of all of the opportunities that I've had so that I can advocate for other people who may not have the same kinds of opportunities. And so I really, really hope to generate the kind of energy that is around community building and creating the kind of culture where everyone can feel a sense of belonging, everyone can feel really welcomed and really valued. And I really hope that the energy that we've generated over the past year, despite the tragedies, is really something that we'll be able to carry forward. So I want to thank the city of Greensboro and, of course, Leadership Greensboro for this recognition. We're just getting started, so I really look forward to what's ahead. Thanks so much.
Good evening. My name is Garet Beane. I am with the Triad Office of the American Heart Association. I am a 2020 Leadership Greensboro alumni and a 2021 program chair. The Leadership Greensboro Connector Leadership Medal is awarded annually to one outstanding collaborative leader who cultivates and promotes connections among people and organizations, promotes interactions that support and honor diverse perspectives, bring together different stakeholder groups to inspire and initiate change, cultivates partnerships that have the potential to make a difference in the community, regularly collaborates and fully engages others' talents and passion for community impact, develops, maintains, and regularly utilizes a broad network of diverse partners, change makers, and sustainers, and who has operated in this leadership style over years of service. The 2021 recipient is Anthony Banks. He is the Resident Engagement Services Manager at the Greensboro Housing Authority. Said of Anthony, he has the unique ability to see and assess varied social and economic needs within our community, especially those who are underserved, and then leverage relationships and resources to provide creative solutions. Here are a few examples of his work for the community. 1, working with workforce partners on securing employment for re-entry individuals. 2, engaged multiple partners to cultivate creative solutions to address a food desert issue in Southeast Greensboro by bringing together a local university and housing agencies. And 3, supported the development of an electronic self-sufficiency simulation model for low-income families. Anthony is constantly considering multiple aspects and potential partners to resolve complex community issues. He approaches such problem solving in a systematic way and doesn't hesitate to build relationships with those at every level of the systems to make a positive impact for those most vulnerable. In the community, Anthony proudly serves on the United Way African American Leadership Committee, City Help of the Triad Advisory Board, and serves on the board of the Forge. He also serves as the board chair of the Housing Consultants Group. Anthony is a Guilford Technical Community College President Leadership Institute graduate and received GTCC's Presidential Award in 2019. We are pleased to honor the 2021 recipient of the Leadership Greensboro Connector Medal, Mr. Anthony Banks.
Hello. I'm extremely honored to be the recipient of the 2021 Leadership Greensboro Connectors Medal. There are a number of people who have assisted me along my journey who I'd like to thank, but for the sake of time, I will only mention a few. I would be remiss if I did not thank Ms. Martha Bergman, former Associate Vice President of Corporate and Continuing Education, and Dr. Ralph Soni, former Vice President of Corporate and Continuing Education at GTCC, for making the investment in my professional development. I would like to thank my family for always supporting my growth, and my wife, Dr. Charlotte Banks, in particular, for standing beside me and always having an encouraging word. When I needed someone to hold my hand and celebrate milestones, you have always been there. And when I needed someone to remind me to clean the garage, yes, you have been there too. As I reflect, my life has depended on a series of strategic connections. When I think about key attributes, two always rise to the top. The first is talent, and the second is purpose. It will be those with talent and purpose who will be needed to help reimagine our city, our county, and ultimately the world. Lastly, I would like to thank the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce and also congratulate the class of 2021. I've had an opportunity to work with the class of 2021 already this year. It was early on during the pandemic when I took a new position here at the Greensboro Housing Authority that we needed assistance with one of our most vulnerable populations, and that was our seniors. The class of 2021 quickly jumped into action, pulled together a number of light toiletry items, and quickly got those over to us. And it was through that assistance and help that I would say to the class of 2018, which I consider the best class, that we have a rival in the class of 2021. We look forward to being able to work with the class of 2021 even further. I know that they have the talent and the purpose that will drive the city of Greensboro to greatness. Again, I'd like to say thank you to the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce for the opportunity and for this award. And I look forward to connecting with many more in the city in the future. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kelly York, Director of Resource Development at Smith Leonard, and also one of the 2021 Leadership Greensboro Program chairs. I'm delighted to introduce the Denise E. Maleska Leadership Impact Award, which was established in 2003. It was named in honor of Denise, our past Vice President of Leadership for the Chamber, and her incredible life work in the area of leadership and civic engagement. Only one recipient is selected annually for this high honor to recognize one's outstanding leadership, contribution to the community, and diligence in forwarding the work of servant leadership here. The award recognizes exceptional leaders who have a long-term breadth of civic and community engagement and contributions that have made a positive impact on the community. led significant efforts aimed at making Greensboro a better place to live, work, learn, and play, whose service and actions have made a lasting and meaningful contribution or impact in the community, are responsive to community needs, goals, values, and long-term vision for Greensboro. Create or maintain a compelling vision for the future and helps others understand their role in achieving it. Set a high standard of integrity by leading through example and maintains high personal standards. Empower others to make a difference and lead. Exhibit leadership that addresses issues, influencing change or new directions. Past recipients of this award include Chad Oakley, Gladys Robinson, Tina Akers-Brown, and Reid Phillips. Now, I'd like to introduce Reid Phillips, who will tell us more about this year's outstanding honoree for the Denise E. Maleska Leadership Impact Award.
If you look, the internet will easily reveal the extraordinary scope and depth of service that John McDonald Cross Jr. has rendered to our community. He serves as an elder at Westminster Presbyterian Church. He has been president of the Greensboro Bar Association Young Lawyers Division. For 9 years, John served on the board of the Greensboro Children's Museum, and for 2 years, he was chair of its board. For 8 years, John served on the board of United Way, including a year as its board chair. For 10 years, John served on the NCCJ board, including a year as its chair. And for the past 7 years, John has served on the board of the Cone Health Foundation, where he now serves as its chair. From that list alone, you might fairly conclude that John is deserving of this great award. In the words of David Brooks, written in his terrific essay of 2015, Moral Bucket List, John Cross has resume virtues. But anyone who has worked with John will tell you that it is not the hard work or the organizations or the titles that make John deserving of this award. It is his goodness, his character, that makes John right for the honor you give him tonight. Integrity, kindness, generosity, optimism, and moral courage define John's actions every day. People sense that whenever they are in a room working with him. When people are there working with John to address the problems and achieve the aspirations of our community, they witness in action John's belief that all of us can use what God has given us to make our community better for all. For John, you see, his leadership is not about power or attention or self. It is instead about gathering diverse points of view, listening in a humble, respectful, and inclusive way, defining practical steps to take Greensboro forward, and then, with his leadership, helping us move towards the achievement of those shared goals. Yes, what John has done would be enough to justify this award tonight. But what really makes it perfect are the qualities that make John who he is. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody who has joined us virtually this evening, and I want to especially thank Leadership Greensboro Selection Committee for deciding to give me this Denise Maleska Leadership Impact Award. This is a big honor for me personally for a lot of reasons, but I would be lying if I didn't mention the fact that I heard I'm getting a trophy with this, and people like getting trophies. I don't get a lot of trophies, so anytime I get a trophy, it's a big deal. When I was 6, I played basketball for the Marion Cougars basketball team, and I was not good. But at the end of our losing season, we all got a trophy. Shortly after that, I joined the Marion Reds baseball team, and it was an experience that mainly taught me that there was a sport that I was worse than basketball. But I played for 2 years. I got 2 trophies. I think we call these trophies participation trophies. And I had no problem with that. After all, I had embarrassed myself week after week in front of my family and my friends, but I participated. Participation trophy seemed about right. In my 43 years since my storied baseball career, I watched a lot of people get awards, real ones. usually for being great or doing great things. And when they accepted these awards, I was surprised how often they would say something like they felt they were fortunate or blessed, or that they were humbled by the honor. I never understood it. I mean, they really did something worthy, and they were worthy of being recognized. And if they wanted humility, they could try being the guy whose mother put his participation awards on the mantle because that was the best he was ever going to get playing team sports. But when you get an award like this one, and you're asked to say a few words in response, you're forced to reflect on why you are in the position that you're in. How did you get here? For me, that exercise caused two overwhelming feelings. I feel extremely fortunate, and I feel very humbled. And it was a quick realization because I've never done anything of note by myself. I've just had the opportunities to do some worthwhile things with other great people in the city of Greensboro. These opportunities were often given to me. Sometimes they were given to me without asking. And I've always had the best support from others that I was working with. A lot of time, these were the others that I was working with in the nonprofit organizations that I joined. But sometimes it was others that were just in my life that had led the way. For example, I had a really good childhood. In addition to putting a lot of energy in raising me, and putting me in team sports situations that I really had no business being a part of. My parents were, and they still are, pillars of their community. In Marion, North Carolina, the small town where I grew up. And my father was actually from Marion, he grew up there, but it was my mother that was more interesting to observe. She was from Charlotte, a big city, and she had moved to a small town, Marion, and she truly adopted that community as her own. She was involved in so many important endeavors. She has helped the hospital a lot of different ways. She basically rescued the only homeless shelter in town. She started our community foundation and done a host of other things. And she's been fairly well celebrated for that. And I know no matter what I do for the city of Greensboro, I'll never impact this city the way my parents have impacted the town of Marion. And it's not like my mother is the only person in my life that keeps me humble. I am married to a woman who is extremely accomplished and decorated as a litigator in town. She's also involved in another number of leadership activities, and she does all of this while being the primary person that raises the three children we're both so proud of. Actually, children are one of the better examples of the dichotomy between feeling blessed and feeling humble. If you don't think children are a blessing, you probably don't have children. And if you don't believe having children is humbling, you probably don't have teenagers. In fact, I expect that the initial feedback I get from these remarks this evening will be from my children letting me know that joke wasn't nearly as clever as I thought it was. But I do hope my children learn from observing their mother, just like I learned from observing mine, because her most impressive activities are not those that you would put in your LinkedIn bio. She directly serves this community. She is a rabid swim team volunteer and a former soccer mom. She cooks and serves dinner on a regular basis at Pathways. She works every Christmas to make sure certain families get something that they need and that they want, and a project we affectionately call Project Christmas at my church, and she does much more. And she does all of this and still allows me to spend quite a bit of time doing the community activities that I enjoy. In fact, all of the members of my family have made some sacrifice to allow me to be part of this community. I'm really lucky that they are so supportive. And meanwhile, I don't take for granted the fact that both Jennifer and I work at Brooks Pierce. This law firm and our partners not only allow us to engage in these non-billable endeavors, they support it. And they lead the way by example. Two of the prior recipients of this very award are Reid Phillips, who introduced me and is the current managing partner of our law firm, and his predecessor, Ed Winslow. In fact, the people at our law firm have actually been impacting Greensboro since 1897, and it's quite humbling to be part of that company, and I'm grateful for it every day. Perhaps the biggest reason it's easy for me to be humble in this situation is simply this fact. I don't really know how to do that much. I mean, not only can I not hit a baseball, I can't build things or even really fix things. I'm not a doctor or a nurse. I can't heal people. I can't even entertain people to help them forget about their problems. I'm just a corporate lawyer, and that is a really narrow skill set. But like most skills, it can be useful when you apply it in the right situation. In my situation, that sometimes includes working with boards of nonprofits, either on the board or on the committees. I get to be a small part of a big organization doing important things, and I get to do it with the little skills I have to offer. So I'm very grateful that I actually live in a community, Greensboro, that is open and has allowed someone who's transplanted into the city to come into these rooms and be part of those boards and those committees. I've had a chance to observe some true Renaissance leaders, and any leadership skills that I have are the product of observing them. And I have witnessed so many awesome executive directors, employees, and volunteers who are on the ground and executing on charitable missions. They personally touch the lives of people that need the help the most. And these are the people that deserve to be celebrated every day. So at this point, you're probably asking if I've come up with any working theory as to why I might be getting this award. And I have only come up with one. And it has to do with something I learned while going through the Leadership Greensboro Program. When I went through that program 18 years ago, I had a great teacher, and her name was Denise Maleska, the namesake for this award. She was truly passionate about leadership and improving the city of Greensboro. Now, my memory's not great, but I do remember Denise repeatedly quoting an accomplished local philanthropist who said that the best thing he ever did for the community was that he showed up. He got involved. He showed up for what he agreed to do, and he was engaged. I think her primary lesson for that day was to follow through on what you agreed to do. You are taking a spot. That is the one thing I tried to do because that is the one thing I could control. And that is the leadership tip I want to share with you tonight. Decide to be part of something bigger than yourself. Make a commitment and honor it. Show up. Go to the board or the committee meetings for which you're a member. Play your role. Utilize whatever skills you have, no matter how limited you think they are. Be part of the process, and you will get to be part of the result. And it is awesome. It's very fulfilling. Fundamentally, that is all I have tried to do. In short, I participated. So it's not lost on me today that I am receiving a participation award. And just like 7-year-old me, I'm thrilled to get it. I wish I could give the same award to all those people who worked with me in the community boards and committees over the years. I wish I could tangibly recognize and celebrate the dedicated staff and volunteers who truly do the most essential work to make our community great. So I do accept this award in their honor and in honor of all the people that gave me the chance to do something I really enjoy. Thank you so much for these opportunities and the chance to be with you this evening, and good night.
Good evening. My name is Marcus Thomas, and I serve as Dream Team Director at Mount Zion Greensboro. I'm also a graduate of the 2020 Leadership Greensboro class, and I have the honor to serve as Program Chair for the 2021 Leadership Greensboro class. Tonight's event is usually a time for the alumni to gather together and reconnect. It is also our tradition to present the current class to our alumni. So I want to take a moment to tell you a little bit about the 2021 Leadership Greensboro class, the people we've had the privilege to work with over the past few months. Our class was the first to graduate in the pandemic. However, the 2021 class will be the first to experience a pandemic throughout their program year. Because of this, we know for sure that they are open-minded and willing to try something new. We also know that their own leadership and personal development means a lot to them. It's important to them, enough that they be willing to try this hybrid program year, meeting online and in modified smaller settings. So who is the Leadership Greensboro 2021 class? They are 36 cool and dynamic people. However, they are not the GOAT class. The 2020 class is the greatest of all time. We will never be topped, but they are 36 great, cool, and dynamic and community leaders. They work in the healthcare, automotive, economic development, local government, nonprofit, manufacturing, education, legal, and banking and finance sectors. They represent the diversity of our city and range from millennials to baby boomers. They karaoke to everything from Macho Man to Lady Marmalade. We're not sure about their singing skills, but hey, they do it. They went through scavenger hunts throughout the city, met government leaders, celebrated with people starting their life over, and most importantly, they have dived deep at the center of creative leadership into understanding themselves as leaders. Their story is not finished, and we have some fun months ahead. My fellow program chairs and I are glad to be part of this story with them. We hope to present them to you in person sometime soon. In closing, we want to thank you so much for sharing this evening with us. We share deep gratitude for our sponsor, Cone Health, and congratulations to Altina, Ziddy, Anthony, and John. Thank you all for your remarkable example and for inspiring us to connect, serve, and impact. We hope that you have a great evening. Good night.